Listen, before we get started, shout out to Abba and Preach for reacting to this whole male supremacy index, male supremacy score. I'm sure, my guess is that they looked at the content and they saw what was happening and they thought to themselves, how can we do a neutral commentary over something that is obviously an issue? So while I think they did a fantastic job to highlight that this is happening, I'm going to go in a little bit more detail to what I think is happening. Now, within that being said, I will leave a link in the description box down below that I responded to all of this government-funded NGO stuff and took apart piece by piece their case study and demonstrated exactly why it is so biased, exactly how they rated me number 2 above other content creators that are way more firebrands within the space than me. I demonstrated all of that, along with detailing that if you rank me number 2 as a male supremacist, that should automatically invalidate you. Nevertheless, we're going to get active. We're going to go in it. But let me also share this thought as well, because I've had a couple of weeks to just sit and think about all of this. And the thought or the emotion that I feel, we don't talk about emotions a lot on this channel, do we? But the emotion that I feel after all of this has happened is really just disappointment. Why is it that I feel disappointed? Well, for something that you spend so much time doing, that you have so much of your hours, your finances, right, how you provide for your family wrapped up in, you know what, bump me, forget me, pretend like it was you. Pretend of the things that you do within your life, the amount of hours that you put into it, the money that you can make from it to support your family, to find out that ideals of what Andrew Tate is talking about, that there's a matrix, right? That there's a government-funded organization that has determined that bump whatever you do in the ways that you do it, we are going to stop at nothing to silence you, to spend tax dollars, government funding, to figure out how to silence you through diverting traffic away from you or slowing your growth. And really the feeling of disappointment is thinking through, where would this platform be if this targeted effort never happened? Nevertheless, let's go through the reaction, because watching them react to it actually brought up additional thoughts that I think can provide a lot of color to the situation. So without further ado,
the gist of it is this. They got government-funded programs to get red pillars out of here and get them demonetized or whatever it is. On their scale, you'd be male supremacy.
No, you would.
No, on their scale, you would become. You just saying what you said is male supremacy.
No, it's not.
It is.
No.
On their scale, it is.
No, it's not.
Yeah? Okay.
I love that they put that part in the beginning, because there goes the issue with this whole thing. When you have a term such as red pill, where there's 1,000 different definitions from it, some people describing it as a hate for women, other people describing it as the truth. Some people say an understanding of dynamics between male and female, while others saying that it's an incel hate group that leads to young men becoming school shooters. But God forbid that you get that label like Abba was just trying to label Preach, because if you do, male supremacist. Shit, didn't Abba and Preach get the title of manosphere or misogynistic people by H3H3?
These guys are honestly as bad, and in some cases worse, because I see them serving as a gateway into this really toxic manosphere, phobic, misogynistic
people who aren't racist, who aren't misogynist, are tired of being called fucking racist, misogynist pieces of shit by people like you, because people are tired of being like, feel like they're racist, misogynist pieces of shit from the social justice warrior movement, where you can't possibly say anything without offending someone. This cult of outrage, people are sick of it.
Women be trying to ruin men's lives. It's just what they do.
I'm gonna go out of my way to lie.
I don't like him, so I'm just gonna go lie about him insulting me.
That is such an insanely hurtful thing to say about any woman ever. It's a very humiliating experience to go through something like that, and for anyone to assume that like someone claiming being a victim or surviving something is them like wanting to boost their ego is so incredibly wrong and uninformed that like you 1,000,000% should not be making content about this, because you're teaching young men who don't know anything about this, and then you're telling young women to not talk to each other, to not talk to anyone, to not tell anyone that something happened, because idiots like you.
But that's the problem, is that regardless of what you believe or what you say, you could be labeled something and that could be weaponized against you.
Okay, this one's a weird one. In 2023, a CVE organization called Peril at America University was awarded $750,000 under the DHS TVT program to inoculate teens against extremism.
I didn't actually know this in my original reaction, that they were given that amount of money to waste.
This program is overseen by MSNBC columnist Cynthia Miller Idris. You may remember her from when she was recently flamed by Elon Musk for her article relating physical fitness to white supremacy.
Physical fitness to white supremacy, just to help you understand the ridiculousness of where we are. But let's keep going.
The grant proposal states it will use short-form video inoculation strategies to interrupt pathways to violent extremism, and that Peril's the organization, has teamed up with Google's Jigsaw and with media production company called Long Story Short Media to do this. Among the target populations for Peril program are content creators and social media influencers who are trained in the techniques of narrative storytelling, short-form video, evidence-based inoculation style scripting, and production. Also redacted from the application is the name of a YouTube influencer with 585,000 subscribers who agreed to support their project by producing and training others. Okay. Now, what are they targeting? Diverting Hate used something called the male supremacy scale to give each of these creators an extremism score. The goal of the DH campaign was to suppress the growth of targeted creators. I'm going to read the next part, but I want you to read the names that are on this list on the left side.
Sandman. The real MTR.
You know who that is?
It's Mediocre.
Yeah.
Legion of Men.
Yeah. The absolute surprise in the way that Preach read that, the real MTR, I think says a lot, but let's keep going.
The Rational Male. Fresh and Fit Clips.
Oh, Fresh and Fit's in there?
Fresh and Fit Clips, nigga.
No, they got
That's
Fresh
why
and-
I laughed. Rich Cooper Channels. Just Pearly Things. Steph is Cold. Aaron Clary. Araco TV. 21 Studios.
DH notes that they were unable to run the campaign on a few of their planned targets due to YouTube demonetization.
Yeah.
So that means that these people are getting money together to try to get these people demonetized or using government-funded programs to do so.
By the way, when I see Fresh and Fit Clips up there, it makes me think that they utilize AI to write a majority of their article. I can't prove that right now, but why would they put in the Clips channel and not the main channel?
Later in the report, they claim that demonetization doesn't slow the growth of large channels, and they use this to advocate for demonetizing creators when they're still small and unable to fight back. Okay, I can tell you this right now. Demonetization absolutely hurts the growth of channels.
They're wrong.
Look at all the channels that got demonetized, and I can assure you they've lost a lot of their luster, a lot of their will to even upload, and their reach. Go look at it. You'll notice there's a precipitous dive. And it's normal because they start spreading to other platforms.
And then
their viewership also doesn't get recommended as often because YouTube doesn't make money. So they're not incentivized to pay these people or to advertise them to as many people as possible for reach because it doesn't make YouTube as much money. Now, the gist of it is this. They got government-funded programs to get red pillars out of here.
Which should absolutely frighten anybody that's looking at this video. This is not a YouTube thing. YouTube and I have had a fantastic relationship since the time that I've been up on this platform. This is a pressuring YouTube to fall in line thing sponsored by the government. We've talked previously about allowing free speech on YouTube, and I think the general consensus is that it's a private platform where you don't have to pass monetization requirements if you're not in line, where they could take away monetization from you or deplatform you if you go over the line. Cool. It's their platform. They could do what they want, but this is government funded, which brings into the question of First Amendment rights. These brothers are in Canada. I don't even know if Canada has a freedom of speech, but I know America does.
And get them demonetized or whatever it is. That is what is essentially claiming.
That's crazy.
Did you look at the scale too? On the right side of the scale, it says subscriber count increase in percentage. So they
look at them gays
like
right there,
tracking just how much they're growing. But they're just looking at subscriber count. They don't have any idea of viewership or how it works. Like if you look at just Pearly Things, her channel's like almost dead. She still makes growth because some of her shorts go viral, but her regular videos no longer get views.
Essentially, what Abba is saying here is that subscriber count is a vanity metric, and although your audience feeds a lot into what the subscriber count means, it doesn't have anything to do with how much money that you make or your reach or how active a community that you have. So the people who created this really don't even understand the metrics to determine success. Again, creating much more evidence to delegitimize the things that they are saying.
Yeah, she gets. That's why she was complaining recently about it, because she's just like, "Yo, I feel like I'm dying." The people don't pay attention to just Pearly. She was hitting 100,000 to 200,000 per video minimum. Okay,
not anymore. 20
now she hits a 10K. She's lucky, and she's dropping like 4 videos a day. She's trying.
God damn. Yeah. So basically, just to sum it up, they have a program that is targeting people to get them demonetized.
Yep. It's basically slow down their reach, their ability to make money. So.
You have the potential of creating martyrs. Like that's what the potential of the potential you have of doing. It's not happening. So I'm not really a fan of that practice. I mean, if you get demonetized because you don't follow certain rules and regulation of the channel that you are on, I can understand that. Targeted and stuff, I'm not necessarily for it, but I do understand it. I understand why it's happening. I understand that things like that can happen. If you make noise in a way that people frown upon, or you're like, the message that you sent out there is there's some lies in there, and you're directing and you're steering people in some kind of direction that people are not gonna like it. Well, then it's the possibility that you're gonna be targeted.
The issue with this, and it's such a slippery slope, I understand what Preach is getting at, but who is determining the lies? Who is determining what's wrong? There's a lot of guys that watch you guys that don't like what you do. You guys have a huge community of dope supporters, but you still got haters. And if those haters formed an organization to hate and targeted you because of things that you have said, because you guys have controversial takes as well, I think you'll be less likely to understand silencing someone's opinion. When you tear out a man's tongue, you're not proving that he's a liar, but you're telling the world that you fear what he might say. We are officially in 1984.
There's definitely a possibility that you're going to be targeted. In most society, that's how it works. That's what happened. If you do something and you bring too much noise, in a sense that the general public doesn't really like the direction you're going, they're going to try to get you out there. I'm not surprised at all that this is happening. Yeah, I would see that happening. I think it's not the first time that stuff like that happens. If there's a message that they don't want out there, they're gonna try to suppress it. They claim free speech, but when you deal with the government,
land of the free,
now,
home of the
to
brave.
To be fair, I haven't triple checked all of these sources, so some of her information may be off on this. So I recommend you guys do go check it out yourselves. But I have never heard.
I have a link to the actual study in my school. Within my school community, where focus is going to be completely on self-development. Sorry, ladies, you guys are not allowed in, but we're going to be focused on financial fitness, identifying your purpose, enhancing your masculinity, as well as health and wellness. So if you guys are interested, click the link down below, beam up, and I'll see you up there.
Heard the term male supremacy.
Yeah.
Is that a first for you?
Male supremacy? Yes.
They got. What do you think we getting on the male supremacy score?
We?
Yeah. Hold on, wait. Let me get a reference point. Pearl got like an 85, so I want to know what you think we would get. MTR got a 92.
God damn.
Listen, the goddamn. When I first watched this, I was rolling when I heard Preach say "goddamn" like that. That's the exact same way that I said it when I saw this shit. Goddamn. What in the world of inaccuracies is this shit? They got me above the young lady that says 16-year-olds are hotter than 26-year-olds. Yet the smooth brains rank me number 2, saying that I'm an advocate for violence, which I have never said on any video on my platform ever.
National Mel got an 89. Fresh and Fit got an 88. So Fresh and Fit are less than MTR, apparently. Okay.
And less than...
Just Pearly Things got 85. Like I said, I think the big mistake for the Red Pill was trying to go mainstream, because then it made everyone pay attention and look at them. And then it exposed their hypocrisy and made them... A lot of people realize just how nefarious the movement is for a lot of people. Mm-hmm. And I think it brought over eyes that the movement didn't need. Now, me personally... Outside of a few names on lists, the rest of them I could care less about. I don't know them, whatever. I'm not a big fan of the idea of government-funded programs being used to counteract this stuff. But I think it's an inevitable progression to what's already begun. Because if you think about any movement, you take the Tiki Torch back in the day, or a lot of like anti-hate groups or whatever it is, they all were born from the fact that an uprising was happening. And the same thing with this red pill stuff. The more mainstream became, the more scrutiny involved. It started showing up in news clips. You see just pearly things on Piers Morgan and she's saying all this stuff. It's naturally going to catch on that when young people are presenting this stuff as an issue at school, or their parents are, or the teachers are, now the government's going to get involved. Right? That's why you want to influence. Come to find out, that comes with responsibilities. And when those responsibilities come, there's going to be people who are going to hold you to account. The bigger you get, it's like making money. You want to make a certain amount of money. But once you get to that billionaire status or whatever the fuck it is, you have to understand you have a different relationship with the government. Yeah. You guys pay your taxes every year in April. They pay their taxes every month. Some of them every 2 weeks. Why? Because the government's not waiting. You guys look this up. If your business makes over a certain amount of money, you're paying taxes all the time. So your relationship with authority is completely different.
Oh, and they check on your ass.
That's it.
There's no slippage.
Yes.
You can't slip.
No.
They will catch you.
Right. And the same thing goes with influence. Once you get big enough, obviously it's going to attract all kinds of eyes. If Andrew Tate was never as big as he was, do you honestly think the sex trafficking case would have come for him? Probably not.
No.
But he invited the eyes on him. He wanted the influence. Didn't show any of the responsibility to protect himself. Had a whole course online self-snitching about what he's done in the past. And that brought upon this thing. Look at Diddy. Diddy got to skate by. Played with too many people. Then his ex-wife came by. Instead of handling it quietly right away, he started to get nervous. What? This thing goes public. And what ends up happening? Now the FBI is like, hey, what's this about? Think about that. They didn't look at this at all. But if it became public enough and enough eyes look at it, then they're like, hey, let's take a look. And now Diddy's facing life in prison.
I understood the Andrew Tate comparison, but the Diddy one took me for a loop because he was already a major public figure before these allegations came out. Really, it wasn't until Cassie threatened a lawsuit, and because he has a gangster persona, I guess, behind the Hollywood lights, he was a gangster. A lot of people that had infractions against them because of Diddy never stepped or came forward. But point taken, Abba is saying that the problem with those that are considered to be within RP is that it went mainstream. And I sort of agree with his point, but I also have a hot take on this. While trying to go mainstreams, those that have the branding of Manosphere and RP were super irresponsible with their content. The Andrew Tates, the Sneakos, the Fresh and Fits, the Just Pearly. There's example after example. Sneako being played on the Senate room floor after wilding out on his live streams, Fresh and Fit running around with KKK hoodies, with all of the Frank Castles while the chats light up. It's easy to point a finger at that.
How about you get your fat ass up and get the fuck up out of here? Get the fuck out of here. How about that, bitch? We don't need you.
If you're leading men, there is more mature ways than to conduct yourself within conflict with a woman. And even to, again, a Pearl who writes on a t-shirt that women shouldn't vote. And to add fuel to that fire, the collaborative nature within the space of other content creators that refuse to hold them accountable, which is why I've worked actively not to collaborate with some of these content creators. And I also have a sneaking suspicion that some of their public perception is different than the way that they are privately. So when privately you could be friends, which in turn there's a want to support them for their public image and perception. So in order to stave off from that and to be objective in the way that I critique or criticize things, let me not even build that relationship to begin with. And I've made mistakes in that and publicly have accepted that by like distancing myself away from crazy ass Pearl. But what's interesting is that when you have the system of unaccountability, you begin to create like sort of this good old boys club, which is the opposite of what the Matrix is, in a much smaller way, creating the Matrix that you complain about. But I get it though, because there's been multiple decades of organizations like that is hell-bent on destroying the two-parent household. So you need teams. Shit, before Kevin Samuels died, I considered him a teammate, but I very much trusted Kevin Samuels' professionalism. He damn sure wasn't perfect, but he was brilliant enough to make it work. But the plan with Kevin was to continue to change the world, and especially the black male image, through media, which was previously destroyed through media. Instead of creating degenerate content, we chastised it. We held up a mirror to your reality, as ugly as it, or as average at best as your reality was, and the purpose was to help you get better results. But when Kevin went mainstream, when he was going up on places such as the Joe Budden's podcast, the T.I. podcast, interviews with Nicki Minaj, the list goes on, the music video with Future, the list goes on and on and on. He kept it professional. After his death, the new leaders increased notoriety through degeneracy, while also not believing what they preach. Shout out to Fresh squirting in the guts of a Super Saiyan escort. Let's resume.
For years, they didn't look at it.
So you just got to understand, if you're going to be somebody in the public eye, one, make sure your closet's clean, and two, make sure your shit's bulletproof. And if you're not going to do that, understand
Cost of doing
that
business.
you're not just an entertainer, okay? These people are not just out here telling jokes and then being innocuous. No. These guys are spreading an ideology, a movement, right? And they are trying to exert influence in a certain type of way, in terms of like really pushing their audiences to think a certain type of thing or whatever it is. And as a result of that, with that influence, is going to come a lot of scrutiny.
It's always been like that. When they heard about the Black Panthers, what the hell is all this? There's a lot of public eyes, and it's changing a lot of things that we don't want it to be changed. Boom, they try to do something about it. Oh, what is this? What is this new religion? Oh, that's kind of weird. Okay, yeah, they're weird. Boom. Every religion that came up and that was kind of weird, Scientology, they try to look at it as well because it was funny. They were under investigation every time you make noise, and there's someone comes out with like a special or a Netflix special or something like escaping Diddy, leaving Neverland, or someone's gonna look at it. It's like you said, whenever there's it's been like that.
It's really just a power of information. Who has control of the information and who has control in disseminating the information. For whatever reason, the media wanted to destroy Michael Jackson. I don't believe that he ever touched any goddamn kids, but the media wanted to destroy him while he was alive. And some would say probably successfully, probably the stress that was administered onto him for leading a public life, being a public figure, led to his drug addiction. But he who is in control of the information has all of the power.
Whenever there's a public eye, they're gonna be like, "What's that noise over there?" And then they're gonna come looking.
Where do you think? What do you think we get?
If we're fair,
come on, don't do that. Tell the truth.
I'm gonna be fair.
Yeah.
If we're fair,
say
55.
55.
55.
55.
55.
I want to say a cold 41. Same as your age. Yeah. 41.
And less than a month is gonna be.
It's okay. For now, it's 41. In a month, it'll be 42.
Yeah.
That's our score. Yeah, for the boys. For the boys.
But 41 is very weak. And 55 is very weak as well. Not Walter weeks, but it's weak.
Hey, listen, man. I'm just glad we made it on the scale. We're not on the list.
We're not even.
But we on the scale. Don't keep it a stack.
That's us giving us number. Because we're clashing with them. Maybe
do you think they lowered their score?
Maybe they think.
Maybe
with the,
that's how we don't end up on the list. Secretly, we know what we're doing.
Like maybe
publicly
because maybe because we're clashing with the boys and all them people, and we're vocal about it, and we've been doing so for a while. You know what I mean? Maybe they're gonna be like, oh,
like they're okay.
Maybe ABBA is at 10 and Preacher's at 9, so 21.
You got a higher score than me nowadays.
Isn't that 19?
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do. You know what? I be looking at you sometimes. I be like, yo, I didn't know Preacher was so red pill.
No.
And I said that a few times. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
No.
Yeah.
Because I used to be
more.
I used to be a 5.
Yes.
And then now I'm a 9. You're still a 10 though.
Cap. Where's my hat at? I don't have any hats. But if I found one, I'm cold up. That's cappity cap. Cap.
That's not a cap.
Yeah, it don't matter. Let's pretend.
Look.
Okay. It used to be you was down here and I was up here. Now I came down a little bit light. You know what I mean? Because your influence, you brought me down.
You was a 20.
No.
You got down to 10.
No, 10's the maximum. 10's
no,
the maximum.
It's not. It's 100.
I used to be hovering around like an 8 or a 9. Okay.
No. Oh. Hell no.
Out of 100. Out of 10.
I was a 30. You was a 65.
I'll take that. Let's just use out of 10, bro. This is too complicated. Okay? So you were close to a 3 or 4 back in the day. I was closer to 7, 6, okay?
Sure.
Okay. But now, boy, you done changed.
No,
we be starting videos and be like, yo, see, if it was a lady, and you be doing that a lot, bro.
No, but that's just
and you be like, that's female privilege. You be saying that all the time.
But that's a fact, though. There is that.
Okay, but I'm trying to say, as you try to, bring the ladies down with your male supremacy, you've gone up to like a 6 or 7, and I, because of your feminist influence on me, I've chilled out. That's a fact.
It's.
Yeah. Take them glasses off. Get that point across. Let them see your eyes.
You can't see them. This shit is see-through, man.
It's see-through, but there's a little bit of a magnifying of it, so you look a little bit bug-eyed and shit.
No, I don't.
Yeah, just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Yo, Abba trying to troll preach to get on the male supremacy list is hilarious. But yeah, all in all, I think that this shit is bogus. I think that this shit is crazy. Again, go back into my video that I did 2 weeks ago to look at exactly why it is bogus. But I'll say this, is that if let's say that there is a known white supremacist, right? And they agree that they are a white supremacist. If you ask them, hey, do you hate black people? They will say yes, right? Now, male supremacists, you would think would follow the same logic. For those that are determined to be male supremacists, you would think, and if they say, yes, I'm a male supremacist, they would also then say, yes, I hate women. Putting me at number 2 is absolutely nasty work. According to this, apparently, I hate women when I've said the complete opposite on this platform a multitude of times. But I guess that's what happens when you try to hold people accountable. I want to see you guys down in the comment box down below. Is this whole situation something that should be assessed in regards to First Amendment rights protection? I want to see what you guys think. I'll be checking and going through the comments. But here is where we are. Questions, comments, concerns. Y'all already know what to do. Mediocre tutorials and reviews at gmail.com. Got nothing else to say. I'll see you guys next time. Until next time, you two. Peace.